we're going to talk about Rod Brind'Amour's team. And I think about the Carolina Hurricanes and what they're like under him. I eat at chain restaurants because I like to know what's coming. Consistency. Life is unpredictable. Now, let's hear from Rod the Bod talking about his team. It's development time in Raleigh.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's going to be exciting, too, to get to know some new faces and, bring them into the group. And that's part of it. Unfortunately, part of business in pro sports is you do have turnover. But I think it'll be a good opportunity for a lot of other guys to step up a little more maybe than they have in the past. And, exciting to see how it all comes together. I think, with Walker coming in, he's excited to, I think, play the way we play. I think most players like the way we play, and they want to do it because we are, I think, up-tempo, and it's a fun way to play. And, there's a learning curve on any team. Anywhere you go, there's going to be different lingo, different way we describe things. But at the end of the day, these guys are good hockey players, and if they have a willingness to get it, they will get it.
The one-time Jack Adams winner said right there, quote-unquote, the way we play. Everyone that has watched this team under his guidance knows what that means. As we look at their additions and subtractions, and he acknowledged it, that there's change with the landscape of the NHL as it is in a cap world. Looking at those moves, what do you think?
Well, one of the things we as analysts are kind of, focusing in on that Carolina roster as last year's trade deadline approach was, can they do anything to make themselves more dangerous? They go out, they get Guentzel, one of the really impactful transactions at last year's deadline. They get a Kuznetsov. Being unable to button down Guentzel, and you get that, given the background, that's an area that I think this team, step forward, maybe step back this summer, something they're going to need to address. To me, they're a bit thin up top. That's a group that, as much as I like the decor, as much as I think they've really kind of got as solid a decor as there is in the Eastern Conference. Again, ability to defend and some offensive upside. It's a little pop, it's a little pizzazz up front that I think this group is lacking, and I think they're going to have to go out and address at some point. Having said that, they still have the ability to play that really suppressive, connected Carolina Brind'Amour structure that no matter how deep the roster is, as an opponent, you're going to have your hands full every night. So that, to me, is kind of baseline for this group. That's baked into the recipe all 82 games this year, and that equates to a playoff spot. The question, Tone, I think just really becomes, if they're more dangerous, they will go deeper. And can they address that?
And the expectation level, as you just saw on the screen, they go every year now. And the previous 12 seasons, they went once. He's totally changed the expectation level. On July 1 of this year, sitting at this desk, the opinion that was shared by our experts was they can play that style, but with their current roster, they're not going to be as good. And, as you mentioned, step forward, step back, this is a team that has gotten to a conference final, that has gone to the playoffs consistently. For them, it's about climbing that next step or two.
Yeah, and it's given that the deadline has kind of come and gone, that was a key window for this group to really bolster, maintain that offensive punch that they gained at last year's deadline. Now, having said that, you look at the Teravainens of this roster, the Ahos of this roster. If Kuznetsov can give you 10, 15% more, there are aspects of this roster where that offensive punch can come from, but you're asking a lot of folks, a good-sized group of folks to have career years for you. If the objective, which the objective is for certainly a group like this, to go on a good deep run and be one of those top two at the end of the year.
And we recognize that the top two this year had a whole lot of depth. It's like an arms race.